sí, se escucha bien. ¿Se escucha bien? Bueno, sí, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Sí. Sí, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Ok, sí, 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 sí. Ok, sí. Ok. All right, we are back.
Back again. Hi, everybody.
You can tell which one of us has a little more energy right now.
I'm faking it. I'm so tired. I need coffee.
I know it was going to be a bait and switch there. It's actually me.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, so coming up on the main court, we are going to see two of the medal favorites in the men's division. Malaysia, who have been in every gold medal match for 3 years now, and coming down with the gold as well, against Australia, who've been in the bronze medal match the last 2 years.
Just to let everyone know at home, if you're just tuning in, again, the stream will be stopped between matches and we will resume. It will not be consistent through all day. We're going to break up the matches as much as possible due to a variety of reasons. So in between games, yes, the stream will go down for a little bit and then come back up. And share that information with your friends and family, please.
Yeah, but in between, we're going to be doing what we can to bring you the best dodgeball in the world.
We will also be bringing you bonus content all day on the World Dodgeball Federation Instagram page. So head over to @World Dodgeball Federation, give us a like, and you will see some interviews, some behind the stage things. We'll be interviewing players. I have a microphone and a camera and I'm gonna get some more coffee. So there's gonna be a ton of content coming your way. Send me questions at World Dodgeball Federation on Instagram. You can send us questions to ask specific players or countries, and I will log those and try to get those out to you guys. So send us questions so we can get it out there. Also try to translate bring those questions up on stream. I know Bill's been watching the stream, right?
Yep.
You guys have been doing great at that. But at World Dodgeball Federation on Instagram, and while you're at it, at Dodgeball Canada and at USA Dodgeball and all the others. Follow every league, every federation. But we'll be bringing you all the content there throughout the day.
And as we see the teams kind of getting their final preparations before the match begins. Australia has some continuity with past years. You see Desmond Onwamare back on the team. I think his third year now on Team Australia.
I think more than that. Des played in 2016.
All right, maybe fourth year?
Fourth year, I would say. It was 2016, 2017. Yeah, he's been a fixture for the Aus team since at least 2016. Is our fact sheet wrong? Am I wrong? Clear. More than likely, I'm wrong.
Oh, this specific fact, maybe not in there, but
okay, great.
I'm just going off memory right now.
Yeah, Des has been around some shakeups and they've been training hard, and they're a new version of the team and a new part of the team. And the Malaysia team, same. They're always strong. So here we go.
And I think we had a false start right off the rush, pointing toward Malaysia. Some returning members on this team. Wei Sheng, one of the fixtures in past years. And we've seen Carlos Benjamin Gunting perform super well last year, back on the team again this year. And we're gonna get started again. This time no false starts, and off the rush we see one hit right away. And that was Wei Sheng connecting, and I think getting hit, and a double. Yeah, it looks like Gunting taken out as well. But on the Australian side, also down to just 4. All
right, I'm gonna take over real quick while Terry gives me his Starbucks order. just so you guys at home are aware. All right, we already Malaysia with a strong start. Well, 4-3. Hit on Dez there, right on the. Hit, yep. Number 16 there is out. Great shot by number 7. Again, a little trouble reading the names from here, so numbers are what you're going to get for now. Throw and a miss there. Nice block into the ground. Another hit. We are down 1 on 3. But I am pretty sure that it is not game yet. This does not mean anything or guarantee anything. Chris, there he is. Chris, and as soon as I learned his name, he's gone. Let that be a lesson. All right, Malaysia's coming out strong with the first point, under 2 minutes. That first game went pretty fast, actually. But the Oz team is just getting going. I think they've, has the Malaysian men's team played already today on the backcourts?
I don't think so, actually. I think this might be the first match for them in the tournament.
So the Oz team might be a little winded right now. I'm sure they're rotating. I'm sure they're fine. It's just I'm winded. I had to walk up those stairs. But false start on Malaysia. Restarting.
Australia played against Hong Kong in the first match slot of the day. And this does look like it's the Malaysian team's first match, as we see a hit out right away.
Woo. Oh, fast exchange. Nice block again by number 7, Chris Luing. I can't see the name right now. It's too tiny for us. Hey, you at home, I'm sure you'll fix it, correct it. Big shout out to everyone back in Australia watching right now. I know all our fellow Mergs are watching, and we love you.
So that's Chris Leung, number 7. And Malaysia coming to the line. We see a shot from Wei Shengte, missing the mark, but pressure being held up high. And Malaysia going to confer again. And nothing damaged there, but it will be Australia's turn on the attack. And we see them coming in with a nice cross-body shot. Leung knocking out Wei Shengte. And we see some good staggering of the timing, good deception by the Australian team. Also now we hear the famous Australian chants.
I messed that up. You guys will see that on the World. Oh, and a catch, an amazing catch. What a catch. Nice. See that chant? That's all they needed. That's it. They just needed to hear the support of their teams. We've already issued a challenge several times for the Oz team to step up because the Argentinians are coming out louder, and I can't have that. As a occasional Australian, honorary Australian sometimes, depends. I don't know. I drink a lot with them. I need to represent my people, and they need to be louder. And that wasn't out. Okay, I thought so as well. Ball back. That was a block into his foot. It looked like it from here, but we are far away.
Yeah, calling himself out. And now it's just Robert CK, I believe the lone team member on Malaysia.
Is that Robert? Nice.
Yeah, he's back for another tournament.
He's been a staple on the Malaysian team for a long time. Oh, and look at that. You can see his experience with the fake and then the hit. That was hot.
He's got great judgment, great dodgeball IQ.
And a lot of experience on the world stage. And look at that. Oh, wow. Weave in between those balls. Again with the double throw, the fake and the throw. He comes back real quick from that.
And now Australia huddling up. They are not going to want this point to go Malaysia's way. You never want to give up a one-on-several. Nice little sidearm delivery from Robert.
The Oz team was just taking a lot of solo shots there. I mean, again, one on several. He managed to bring it down from 5 to 3. The Oz team would need to, I think, work together a little more. Maybe, perhaps.
Always helpful to work together.
Oh, I thought he was going to throw that. I was like, we just said work together, man.
Very close to the line, but I think Robert CK knows when where he is relative to those lines pretty well.
He is definitely, again, these back lines, the lines are lava, folks. Cannot touch them, and it's really, I don't understand how. Oh, there we go! There we go! Brandon Leitner with the kill.
Yep.
Nice.
I think Australia obviously wanted that.
That was fantastic.
We've got 1-1 currently, with 14:23 remaining in this first half.
I want to say all these things about the Oz team, but they're not appropriate for this stream. But they're fantastic people.
You'll just have to come to a future event and talk to Jake Mason directly if you want to learn more about the Australian team.
After dark.
How they're fantastic people exactly. Asia to the line, a couple of shots taken. That second one finding the mark. I think that was Robert again, connecting solidly. And we now see
Oh, no, a rebound. Number 3 out off of number 7. That was just unfortunate. Refs calling him out. That's I don't want to say lucky. I mean, it's a good hit from Malaysia because it bounced off. People don't like it when I say lucky when they're good calls. They tend to get a little upset about that.
That's right, all skill. That was Ashley Chan knocked out and Chris Leong as well. And that puts Australia down to just 2. We will see if we can get a big play out of Michael Tran and Leitner.
I am not sure what the call is or what the issue is downstairs right now, but we can always guess. If anyone has suggestions as to what the refs are arguing about or would just like to put words in their mouth, feel free to @me, @World Dodgeball Federation on Instagram, and let's make something up. Why not?
So we're going to see Malaysia, also 3 strong. We have on the left side Huang coming to the line. He's the one who lets it go and connects. And so Onwamere on the court. He's under pressure a little bit from Gunting on the far corner. And now Australia coming to the line. Then we see a hit. And that is actually going to be just Onwamere alone now against 3. Goes across court. And the Malaysian team electing not to throw. Huang holding back. And there we see a good shot that still misses Desmond Onwamere. And I think, did he clip? Yeah, he just managed to clip Yi Hong Huang.
We are definitely experiencing some audio issues today. We're working some stuff out. Again, we're in Cancun, we're in paradise, we're in the jungle, and priority for the city is not their Wi-Fi, it is their beaches. And the priority for Team Malaysia was taking out Des, and they got him. So it is 2-1 Malaysia over Australia right now. Only 7 minutes, a little under 7 minutes into the first match, so first half. Wow, I need some coffee.
And so far this match has not disappointed. That was, I believe, Pyong's ball was the kill shot. And
Pyong, another legend, been high-profile World Dodgeball player for a few years, always clutch, especially in those finals matches. I have a Pyong jersey, just, saying.
Yeah, he was, first time I got to really see him play in person in Toronto in 2017, very impressive. And neither team throwing immediately off the rush. A couple of shots missing. And now the call is that it's Malaysia's turn to throw. And we see that shot coming out from Huang, missing. And on the return, wow. It's a big shot by Leitner. And now Australia back up, just missing. I believe that was Ravichandran eluding the throw. And we see some big fakes. Pyong blocking that one as he's attacked. And now that count is going to be on Team Australia to take their shots. Donwamere throwing, blocked well. And now Malaysia coming to the line.
Almost intimidated Australia off the court there. A little interesting with the balancing and the back lines for me are difficult. It's hard for me to have that court awareness. I always step on them. Oh, Australian player dodged. Desmond's getting hit. Not their intended target, but a good target nonetheless.
And we saw some really good play on both sides where players would wind up for the fake, wait to see what the opponent did, and then deliver a quick shot before the opponent had a chance to do something else. And good blocking posture from Sheng. He's been hard to hit the last couple of years. He's really held down the corner well for Malaysia.
That Wei Sheng? The Wei Sheng?
It sure is.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
He's been a very reliable player for this team.
So the Malaysian team's full of a lot of seasoned veterans and gold medals all around. Like they've been. Ooh.
Another big shot. And that is Leitner knocked off the court. Malaysia guarding that ball. It is, unfortunately for Australia, their turn to throw, but getting clipped out there. And so now down Ashley Chan. The Australians have to go on the offensive, but now it looks like the refs are going to be talking one more time. Call in the backline judges.
Love both these teams, and I love watching them play against each other. But what I love more is giving you the best product I can, which means I need coffee. So I'm going to go get some coffee. I'm going to replace myself, as if I can be replaced, with Bill Fisher. So it's an upgrade. And I'll leave you guys to it. And I will be back on the World Dodgeball Federation Instagram at World Dodgeball Federation with some interviews with players and some bonus content. So follow us, like us, send me your questions, and tell me what you want to hear, what you want to see, and I will try to get that out to you guys. Have fun.
Jake probably won't forget my coffee either. So, Bill, welcome back. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm excited to watch this. This is probably one of the top matches that we're going to see today in terms of like high level skill, right? I think this is two big, big four teams, right? I think this and the Malaysian versus USA women's is the other big one in that regard, right?
Yeah, medal contenders pretty much every year, so it's always a pleasure to see them playing against each other. And now we've got some 2-on-2 dodgeball. And we see some back and forth. Wow, that was close to the line as well, but
yeah, staying in. I mean, these guys know the bounds very well. They've been playing, at this level. For the most part, you know exactly where you are on this court.
Yeah, Leung throwing, leaving himself empty-handed.
Also, if you hear some whistles now and then, that's possibly the other court that's going on as well. So don't assume that the players aren't stopping. Malaysia finishes that off.
Yeah, big throws connecting. So we saw Leung knocked out as well as McGregor. That's funny, it's actually misspelled in one place, but the pronunciation making it look more like the McGregor that we know and love.
So what did I miss? What's the flow of this game look like?
Well, I'd say unsurprisingly, both teams are fans of good solid counterattacks, good accurate throwing in a lot of cases. I'd say Malaysia showing that excellent blocking form again. They're so good at folding themselves up behind a ball and holding it out in front of themselves, cutting down the angles they can possibly be hit.
Yeah. Quick play by the Malaysians and the Australians. Neither of them coming out with anything. No.
Yeah, I think
Malaysia did come out with something.
Yeah, I think
on the court.
Shea McGregor was knocked out there. Refs talking a little bit again.
I love how unified the Malaysians are. Every time they get a hit, you just hear that roar come from that sideline. All of them, like it's impressive. They're a collective for sure.
Yeah, I think they've really got the team played down. They've got a lot of veterans on the team, some continuity with their last World Championship team, as well as some new blood. But we're still seeing mainstays out there like Wei Sheng and Gunting, Robert CK as well. You can see him in the left corner for Malaysia right now. And we are getting back going. And indeed, Australia with 5 players, so I think the hit on McGregor was legit.
Let's see what Malaysia pulls out of the bag here. Ooh, big counterattack from Malaysia, but comes up just a little high right over the shoulder.
Yeah, but taking Onwamere out, and yeah, just clipping on the shoe, it seems like. Leung knocked out.
All right, Australia's got to claw their way back into this. Malaysia putting good pressure, trying to force it. Yep. Great work. That's exactly what he went out there to do, right? He went out there to put himself up, put pressure, force the play onto him. He had a blocking ball. Yeah, great work. That's exactly the kind of job he went out there to do.
Yeah, Huang does get hit out, but Pyong blocking that shot, drawing in a ball. They point out their target. Pyong with those fakes as the team backs off. He elects to take. Good scrambling from him to get low and away from those attacks from Australia.
Let's see once again if that ball will come from that middle. A lot of pump fakes. Good dodging though. I think that's Brandon Leitner, number 4, if I'm not mistaken. Had dinner with him earlier this week. New player to the team. A lot of the Australian team is pretty new once again. Last year they had a fairly new squad. This year again they have a fairly new squad, but still have a core of veterans to work around. And, they're feeling pretty good coming into this.
Now, Jaden Watson was hit out before, and I think, it looks like that's confirmation that Ashley Chan was hit. So that means only one remaining. Tall task. Leitner, I guess, was hit out. He looks like he wasn't sure, but
takes the out.
Yeah, Malaysia really accurate throws so far.
Australia's going to call out a timeout here. And that's, 4-1 Australia? 4-1 Malaysia over Australia? Yep. We've got 6 minutes left in this half. Reminder, each team gets 2 timeouts in each half. About 90 seconds. So Australia's going to try to make some changes here, see what they can, and, get a bigger change going into the second half. But at least start making some changes now, knowing what further changes have to be made for halftime. I think this is a good call by them. You're down 4-1. Don't let the clock get run on you, essentially. So this is a smart move by them. Using one of those timeouts now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Malaysia so far with the momentum, they've been connecting really well on their shots. They've been decisive in their calling, and they've been elusive. I think every year we see the Malaysian side very difficult to hit. They're quick with those lateral movements as well as up and down, and really solid blocking from basically everybody on that team. So very frustrating when you think you have them lined up, and they just slip out of the way.
Yeah, you have to pump fake that team. Like there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're so good at dodging that your hope is to get them into a vulnerable position. But I mean, we've seen them dodge out of a push-up position last year. Like they are incredible athletes. They're so good at not putting themselves into a vulnerable position to begin with. Trying to they'll make that primary movement, but still set themselves up to make a secondary movement, continue their momentum. They're a team that has a lot of, they stay on the court. That's the whole objective of dodgeball, is to stay on the court, and they are very good at that.
Yeah, I'd say they don't have as big of arms as some of the other teams, especially some of the Western teams with just bigger people also seem to have bigger throws. But conversely, those bigger players often can't block behind a single ball as effectively as these Malaysian men can. So totally different styles of play sometimes.
I think the Malaysians are also phenomenal at active blocking. There's a lot of people who will just kind of stick a ball out and hope it works. The Malaysians get themselves as small as possible. They keep their eye on it. They put the ball to where the ball is going, and they knock it away. It certainly helps them, just get that little extra advantage.
We did have a false start there on Australia. Head ref Ian Asang saying you do have to lose a player because there was a false start earlier in the half. So it looks like that was Jaden Watson coming off. And in those exchanges, we just see, I believe that's Leung knocked out. So far, the only casualty.
Well, aside from the false start. Can Jaden Watson be caught back in after a false start?
You know what? I actually don't remember if you have to play down the full player. I think it's just an out, though.
Okay.
Oh, big hits.
What a shot.
That one sounded wet when it connected with McGregor. Wow.
That was a thud. That was a splat. Malaysia regrouping. Remember, any ball will reset the shot count. Each side has 10 seconds to throw, but anyone can reset the shot count.
Yeah, and they connect again. That's Ashley Chan knocked out, leaving Deswin Onwamare and Brendan Leitner holding down the fort for Australia. A tall task in front of them, getting dangerously low on that shot clock.
Good block. I think it's still a Malaysia throw. Once again, if both sides have 3 balls, the team with more players has to throw first. After that, it's the side that, if both sides have the same number of players, it's the side that threw last no longer has to throw.
And if Australia makes a catch on this set, then yes. Oh, wow, we see a couple of interesting throws from Onwamare, but yeah. Yeah, and all of a sudden, Malaysia carved down to just 3 people. And yes, if there is a catch, Jaden Watson will return to the set. An interesting little underhand throw from Pyong. We've seen him throw that from time to time. Deceptive little throw. Now it is an attack from Australia.
Oh, taps the foot of Leitner.
Yeah, I don't think Leitner was ready for that shot.
No, it's hard to be, especially when you have so many pump fakes. You know, the pump fakes get you into a sense of, you know, you can only look at so many pump fakes before your eyes, you know, defocus or you don't think they're actually going to do it. So, oh, there's that charge play.
And it looks like, yep, Onwamare was hit.
Yeah. Good job on the Australians of calling their own player out, not letting the refs have to do it on the confusing play. Good integrity there by them.
Yeah, and Malaysia, these points have been close, but Malaysia able to close out the sets more effectively than Team Australia so far. So they have a 5-1 lead with just under 5 minutes to go in the half. There's a new and even harder to read score clock down on the table, so.
Yeah, they keep swapping back and forth between them. I'm not entirely sure why.
This one looks nice and official. I just have to squint pretty hard to read it.
Yeah.
Oh, Sheng connecting with Watson, and yeah, it looks like there was another hit on the other at the center of the court. So that was Chow knocked out.
Still 6 on the side of Malaysia, 4 on the side of Australia. Malaysia just keeps putting this pressure. They're relentless. And they're so good at that opening rush, too.
And there we saw one of those back corner counters onto Sheng. Good shot right in the shin.
Good job being elusive, though. I don't know what they're... Sorry, I do know what they're doing. Just ooh, almost trips him up with that. That was ground first, though. But those corners are putting so much pressure. They're dragging throws to them over the middles who don't have blocking balls that are, you know, a little bit more defenseless. So good on Malaysia once again, keeping that pressure, forcing the plays to the outside, just so they can maintain focus. Especially with Malaysia being so counter heavy from those corners, you really have to give them that time of day.
And I really like a lot of what Malaysia's done in terms of disguising what they're doing. They've been able to release throws very quickly. They've also really made use of pump fakes and deceptive motion. Wow, and 2 quick hits, 3 hits.
That was impressive.
And just like that, Malaysia up 5 players to 1.
So just an interesting tactic perspective. Usually that first person up there, the first throw got there probably 2 steps before everybody else. That's usually a pump fake, right? You usually want to get your team set up there. And Malaysia's been so good at pump faking that this back-to-back-to-back throw is just a different cadence than they've been throwing all game, right? You get comfortable with certain things, and good job on them on breaking that mold, not being predictable.
Yeah, mixing up that timing, really important at this level because players are so good defensively. And we are going to see a tall task here for Ashley Chan to bring it back. Settling into the defensive posture here.
I mean, he has two options here, right? He can do his best to... Ooh, but toe tapped. What a shot.
I mean, Malaysia had 5 options there with all those players, and they found the right one.
You know, sometimes as the last player in, it's beneficial just to drag the game out, right? You want to weaken the arm of the other team, especially if there's plenty of time left. There's a whole second half. You know, get them to throw a lot, get their pitch count, so to speak, up. Make it easier on the rest of your team going into every subsequent game, right? Like, they're throwing 100% at you constantly. That subsequent throw isn't going to be as good. You know, you're going to start getting tired, especially while you're in the same half. Nice shot by the Malaysians off the rush there, getting Jaden Watson out.
Yeah, that was Sheng again connecting with him. That's the go-to play. And there we see Malaysia holding off and electing to huddle up and figure out a good play on offense again. See that shot coming from the right side.
He was going for that foot, but just came up a little bit outside on that shot.
Yeah, that was
interesting. Okay, there we go. There's the ball to the corner. Thought the Australians were leaving their player out to hang a little bit.
Yeah, but we do see a connection. And Australia down to 4 people.
That is not that court's whistle.
As Chow knocked off the court again. We see the counter. I believe that was Sheng letting that one go, but missing. Australia back on offense. And they elect to go to the far corner. Wow, yep.
And staying safe on it too, especially with 3 counter throws coming out of there.
Wow. Yeah, we're seeing this time the Australians finding some of those counters as well as they knock Kwong out of the point.
Good. This is the first match after the first game, so to speak, after the timeout, right?
No.
Second one?
This is the second one, I believe. When we see Pyong putting that pressure on from the Malaysian left corner, just trying to make sure that Australian players don't feel like they can take a shot for free.
Overall, though, I think Australia's looking a little bit more solid now since that timeout. We had that bang, bang, bang play earlier, but you know, sometimes those plays just happen to you. You know, you can't predict everything. This game looks very solid on them.
Well, and they get Pyong after having eliminated Gunting on the last throw. So Australia now in position to get that second point on the board for themselves. Sheng, the lone Malaysian player left, that one skimming before it hits Desmond Onwamare.
That shot that got him just dove over the top of his blocking balls and nailed him in the back. That's the shot that you really need to take on these Malaysian players who are so good about getting small and getting those blockers up. That diving shot is so vital to just getting them out. It's one of the best shots you have, right? You got to force them to have a wider coverage than they really want instead of just playing it straight on.
And we see a corner-to-corner throw right as time expires. So we are heading to sudden death.
No block time. Once again, the ball is an extension of the body. If you block a ball, you're out. Not good for the Malaysians.
Well, that said, though, I feel like last year in Los Angeles, they played really well in sudden death in several matches. Their accurate throws are pretty important when you're aiming at people who can't block, too. So.
Oh, yeah. More so that it's 3 against 1.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely an edge for Team Australia right now. See Liang staying ready. That was interesting. Liang didn't even try to suggest he was going to throw there. He's just ready to follow up.
Yeah.
But his teammates did the job and knocked Sheng out.
I think Argentina's still a little bit louder.
You know what? I do agree with you.
Yeah, send us hate mail. Aussies, do it.
Yeah, the Australian contingent this year not quite as big as in Los Angeles, so not as many voices to cheer as we heard yelling last year.
You can find me outside of Macca's in Cancun.
Wait, no, tell them somewhere else that you aren't. That's how you're supposed to do this, right?
Oh, no, I'll show up. I'll show up. You want to yell at me, I'm all ears.
Well, we've got a 6-2 score going into the second half. This match obviously not out of reach. I feel like 4 points is a differential that you do see made up periodically. We've seen comebacks. I think the biggest one I've seen is from 7 points or so. The
Italy, Argentina last year.
Maybe. I was actually thinking of the Canada-USA semifinal from 2017 where Canada erased a pretty substantial deficit at half, which I think was 7 points.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Probably the most dramatic game I've... Yeah.
It's not a... It was very upsetting. That was...
That maybe just depends on your perspective a little. But either way, that was probably the most exciting match I've ever seen. I have a different word for it, but that said, this has been a really solid match as well. Again, even though the score a tiny bit lopsided, pretty much every point has been really close, often coming down to like a 2-on-2 or a quick flurry of activity where just shots connect in quick succession. So well played by both sides so far.
I'm still so impressed with that Malaysian bang, bang, bang play. Right? It was such a different cadence for them to make a play like that, and it paid off dividends just in terms of 3 outs back to back to back. It's super impressive. Folks, I know it is very quiet right now.
Yeah, so as we get back into the second half, Malaysia still with that 6-2 lead. False start count does reset. And we see another hit right away on Watson. They've been able to consistently take him out at the start of points.
Hello. Just testing on the audio quick. Okay, it's a little better.
And now we see the attack coming in and just missing. 5 members of Team Australia. 4 of them coming to the line with a ball each. And now they retreat back off, having only spent 1 ball. They're electing to keep a 3rd ball on defense. And Malaysia does have to throw, as they have not thrown recently. So they only spend 1 ball as well. They want to keep 2 on their side. But right now, this is a good position for Australia to be in. If they elect to only throw 1 ball, they still get to keep 3 on defense. And, oh, that catch was caught. Wow. That was quite an effort. Had to drop his own ball and reach out with a full extension. But, yeah, that's some heroics coming out from Christopher Leung.
I was looking at audio levels and did not see it.
Well, luckily, these matches will all be posted to YouTube under the WDBF channel, so you will be able to catch all the things you missed.
Terry, where else can you follow the sport?
Well, Bill, I'm glad you asked. You can check us out on Instagram as well as the national organizations. I think Anwar Mare did clip the back line there. We have a line judge.
No, his second ball came through and tagged him.
All right, well, he's out either way. And now Australia on the offensive. I think Watson, yep.
Shin tag.
Yeah, Watson has not been able to stay in well. The Malaysian shots are really finding him with a high degree of accuracy.
It's tough. He's dropping down with that one knee forward, and he's trying to block with that leg out. You know, if you get the block not directly clean on, it's going to deflect into your shin, and that kind of looks where that position was. It's kind of a weird form, that's all. So it's hard when you're backpedaling, right, to have the perfect form every time.
And there we see, in the back and forth, wow, there's a disarm. And I'm not sure if the ball that popped up and was retrieved was a catch or not, or if that was one of the balls. Yeah, the refs are talking that over. I think the question is whether it was a catch off the ball that was being held by Chow, or whether the ball was the thrown ball, in which case it would be a legit catch, even though Chow did get hit and walked off the court. Interestingly, if you do get hit, the ball pops up and a teammate makes the catch to save you, but you actually walk off the court thinking you are out, you are out. Once you touch that line or go over that line, you're out, regardless of the fact that you didn't understand quite what was happening and you could have still been in the game. So
yeah,
can be tricky to keep track of.
Yeah, it's very important to just, if you get hit, just keep your eye on that ball. It's hard, right? It's a little demotivational getting hit in the first place, but stay with it. There are times I've seen people walk off when the ball was literally just 2 feet over their head. Just, at that peak would have been an easy grab if they had just seen it. So.
Yeah, I think that often a lot of players will be like, well, I got hit, I want to take my outs and head off. But that's the countervailing wind in this case is maybe you weren't out, maybe you were saved. But it looks like the catch does stand because we have Chris Leung back in for his side. And he's the one who elects to take the shot. And now Malaysia on offense. And we see a shot blocked cleanly there. So Huang not able to find his target. The Australian chants coming in, trying to keep their team fired up. And now we see the Malaysian players swapping sides, maybe finding what they think is a more favorable angle. Pyong missing on the cross court. Oh, back and forth. And still 2-on-2.
Yeah, let's. Someone was asking in the live stream for an update on the scores. We'll get some updates for you as we can, but right now I do not have it.
Neither do I. But yeah, as we find them, we will give updates. Chan's throw does miss. Now Pyong and Huang will talk it over. They're going to try and mix up what they're doing, I'm sure, be a little deceptive. And they attack the left side, but nothing doing there.
Yeah, they're very telling in what they're trying to do here, right? They're loading up that left corner. That left player is taking the shot, and that middle player is there to protect and just be ready for whatever. But good change up there where he instead did the cross court, kind of keeping things a little different.
Yeah, I like the mix-ups. A lot of players. Oh, wow. And Pyong with the block.
Block.
He's a spectacular dodger.
Really? I couldn't tell. That was something else, seriously. Oh, my God.
Well, now that your sarcasm is out, we'll see Team Australia coming back up to the line. Leung taking a shot cross-court toward Pyong. A less spectacular dodge this time.
Yeah. Oh my, that dodge just blew my mind. He essentially said, like, I haven't done the worm in a while. Like, let me pull it out now.
Australia now conferring. Chan is the one to take the shot, but Pyong avoids it. He's going low and getting that blocking ball up. And they switch. Yeah, I think Huang's going to take this one. Goes cross court. Nicely blocked.
Once again, just great maneuvering overall. Just getting, there's people that jump and then there's people that jump and then, evaluate where the ball's going and get their legs out of the way a second time. Like, there's something else to those kind of dodges. Really just like full body control. Like, it's present on the Malaysian squad.
And there we saw the shot from Chan missing. You can see the ball retrievers in the back. We'll try to make the catch if they can. Decisive block, but tagged in the air, and
tagged again.
We see those quick strikes. It seems like that's a theme for the Malaysian side here. When they connect on one hit and there's another one they can take, they'll take that one again, just really trying to control the rhythm.
Yeah, good job by Malaysia there. They knew the charge was coming, but they held their ground, right? They were set up to make those shots, whereas the Australian side had to be more active and make a move while trying to take those shots. You're not going to be as accurate. The Malaysians just said, cool, we'll plant ourselves, we'll take on this charge head on. Good move by them.
Yeah, and the pressure was on Australia to make the play because they are the ones down in this match. They're currently down 7-2. So really, they have to take the initiative and try to close the gap, whereas I think Pyong and Huang did a great job of kind of absorbing the pressure and waiting for a moment where the Australians maybe overextended a little bit and just left themselves exposed to those shots.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it from the one corner taking that jump shot, charging into a block and then evaluating where things are going. They're both hard moves to make. I think Malaysia made the right call. Little risky, right? Because if you miss, you're kind of, out in the middle of the court and you might get killed for it. But yeah, good play overall.
Yeah, very early in the match, there was a warning given to Team Malaysia for pointing. So that's sometimes when they think they've connected with somebody. We don't want the players kind of pointing out and as we called it before, self-reffing. And one great thing here is that when those warnings are issued, a lot of times the teams will acknowledge their mistakes and just kind of keep it under wraps. I haven't even seen a whiff of anything like that for the last little while.
Yeah, no, a lot of teams have been good. Like the refs called out stuff, and we've seen adjustments made very, very quickly. So I'm glad to see that. Right, these players have integrity. They're here not for money or anything like that. But, there's no prize pool as far as I'm aware. You're here for pride and honor, and you don't want to have an asterisk on your wins. You don't want to cost a win because you're out of line, right?
Yeah, the pride pool is enormous, even if the prize pool isn't. So
yeah.
And this time we actually see Jaden Watson managing to stay in off the opening rush. He's been targeted pretty successfully by Malaysia a few times, but he's still in there.
I mean, he's one of the veteran players on that team. I think, they know to target him because they know how good he is.
Chan knocked out, though. And that shot from Anwar Mare missing. So now Malaysia's going to take to the offensive. They huddle up, talk it out.
Only 3 balls on the offensive now. Good dodge, but counter coming from the Australian side. Another counter coming from the Malaysian side. Trying to toe tap him there, it looked like. Might have forced him out of bounds, though. Someone did walk out there on the Australian side. Nice counter attack, does graze him right in the toe while he was trying to put pressure up on them. So good read by the Australians there. 5 against 4. The score is 7-2 with just over 12 minutes, or just under 13 minutes left in the second half.
And they do find Tran through the block. So now Australia down to just 3. Gunting still holding down that the right corner for his side, and Robert CK on the other. And aggressive, and that's interesting. We see Gunting putting the pressure up by just moving forward, but the actual ball thrown comes from the other corner entirely. So again, good deception, casual block there.
Yeah, him and Jaden Watson just had 2 pretty good defensive plays. Jaden looking left, kind of keeping his eye on the peripheral right and making a sideways dodge jump, and then followed by that very casual peripheral block coming from their right corner. That was pretty incredible play.
And there Leong actually taking a shot, but kind of puts it through the Malaysian team. They attack the line and miss, and the return shot from Watson, he's fired up.
That's why they want to take him out of this game. He's got that arm, he's accurate, he can hit his shots. Keep the Watson in, it'll pay dividends.
We're seeing a more deliberate pace from the Malaysian team. I think that's smart. Oh, and I think they found Watson on that one.
Yeah.
Ref's going to talk. It might have bounced. To be honest, pretty hard to tell from here, especially because Jaden Watson's leg was a little bit in front of being able to see. Oh, was that a catch?
I know what it was. It deflected off of him, and the corner caught it.
Yeah, so I guess the question is, of course, whether it hit the ball at least after it hit Watson, but it looks like that is not the case, and they're calling it a catch. And so I believe that is Chan, who's come back in. Ref's telling everyone, hey, we got to start this one from the back line. Get back there.
Okay, let's see what Malaysia can do here. Oh, there's a connection right there. The Australians dedicate 2 balls to get that out. Only needed 1 as the first throw, but still, plays a play. 4 balls to the side of Malaysia.
And Ravichandran has had some great throws for this Malaysian side, so taking him out when you can seems important.
Nice dodging on the side of Australia, keeping themselves alive from that counter. 3-3 though. I don't think you're going to see a lot of double teams now from Malaysia. I think they want to reduce the number of balls that can come from this Australian side, and you really can't double team when you only have 3 balls. As Australia right now, you don't want to dwindle your numbers, right? If you miss that double team, you're almost guaranteed to get someone out, and you're reducing that advantage that you have.
So Leung there trying to catch the other team by surprise with a backline to backline throw. Did not work, but that one cleanly blocked.
Good pump fakes though, like forcing out those movements. The second you see someone jump, it's not Crash Bandicoot, they can't double jump. They're in the air, they're going to land, you can kind of read it. So good job forcing out those jumps and taking some pretty good shots just off target, but overall good shots from the Australian side.
And they're going to need to try and close this point out. They're still down in the match, 7-2. And I believe we are now in the back half of the second half, so Australia is going to need to try and actually connect on a few more of these shots. They might need to take a few more chances.
Yeah, Malaysia doing a good job just staying safe, getting low, kind of waiting for the Australian side to make a mistake.
And we saw some back and forth. Anwar taking a shot at Gunting, but unable to find the target. And now Malaysia back on the offensive. We see pretty safe throw. And again, the pressure is not on Malaysia to make the plays here. They can play it a little more conservatively. They're still going to try and take the point, of course. Those throws still dangerous, but they don't need to take unnecessary chances when they're winning this match by a pretty comfortable score right now.
Yeah, they're winning by running the clock at this point, right? Like every game matters. They want more points, but at this point, don't let Australia get back into it. They can play slow here. They're playing defensive. You're seeing them throw from the check line, essentially, that extra 10 feet, and just kind of taking safe shots, trying to make the other team reach. They're not the ones trying to make plays right now. They're trying to catch Australia making mistakes because they know they have to be the more aggressive team.
Australia throwing that second ball from the corner. Anwar with the block, and on the counter, it's missed by Leung. And Chan, I think, does connect.
Okay, caught out in the middle there.
Sorry, that was Chow. But yeah, only one left for Malaysia, who's going to take a relatively safe throw. And on the counters, I think...
Refs are going to talk about that one.
Yeah, the Australian coach, he thought that was a connection. The refs didn't signal anything immediately, so I think they're just going to talk it over. Is Sean Lim.
Safe.
So yeah, Lim's still alive, still going to try and at the very least work the clock and maybe even get the point for his side.
Big catch by the Australians.
Yeah, they obviously needed that, so good on them for finally coming through and closing it out. Leung with the grab to make it happen.
Yeah, it's 7-3 right now. They need to close a 4-point gap. I mean, that's what they had going into the half too, right? That 4-point gap. So at least they're keeping it even in this second half, right? I think we talked about how they're going to make adjustments in the half. It was probably going to be tighter. And they've kept that gap exactly where it was. So not falling behind. Overall increasing their win percentage, right? So good on the Australian side.
8 minutes remaining, and right off the rush. And it looks like they got Lim this time. Seems to be the case.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. Trying to go for that corner. Little no-look play there. Can't connect. It was like a 50-foot shot, but...
Chow seems to be one of the big throwers on the team. Number 17 gets handed the ball pretty often when his team goes to the offensive. Now we see that good disguising of where the throwing's coming again from the Malaysian team, but unfortunately that throw does miss.
Good job by the Malaysians. They're calling a lot of... tagged out that right corner.
Now that was Pyong knocked out on the side. He's been dangerous, so hey, really important. Another one of those key targets to eliminate.
One of the things you're seeing Malaysia do, if you pay attention, is they're calling plays when they're on defense, right? You'll see them chalking and huddling when they're on the back line. Probably to sync up like, hey, I'm going to be the one that counters, or this or that, or you should be the one that counters. Because you'll notice that they only counter with one person typically. So, they're not over-dedicating balls. So it's interesting to see them, make the plays that they are.
Yeah, because on defense, you don't want to have too much aggressiveness and lose your balls. You also don't want to have too much passiveness and not protect yourselves as well as you could be. So
yeah, you got 3 counter shots come out all of a sudden from one side, and you're down to 0 balls. It's not a good place to be. Your best player is about to get 4 balls thrown at them essentially.
And Chan hit out, so Australia down to 5. Still with a slight player edge, as Malaysia's with 4. Play starts up again. And it's Australia at the line, and missing.
Okay. Let's see what they do here.
Oh, wow. That was a solid hit on Tren.
Beautiful pump fake, too. Held his ground, pump faked, forced him to the air, and then took the shot. Beautiful play.
And we see that throw coming across. Not quite finding the mark. That is Andy Chow.
Solid hit on that chest.
Yeah, he gets taken out. Perhaps the most important event, Jake has returned with coffee.
Yeah.
You see a shot toward Onwamere, missing. Watson taking a shot as well, but not finding his target. Malaysia huddling up one more time. And that shot missing as well. Ravichandran not finding the mark this time.
I think that's right. Here.
And it looks like a clip onto Ravichandran, but Watson as well knocked out. So Malaysia with the 3-2 edge. And not through the block that time. Bit of a decisive head shake over there from Leung.
I mean, that was a big mutual head shake from a lot of Malaysia. I mean, you hear them chant every time they think they make a hit. So
It's kind of an emotional reaction at that point, not always a completely accurate one.
Yeah. They're so excited for their team. There's an energy to playing that team, right? There's something intimidating about, you get hit and then all of a sudden there's this roar, right? It is the crowd.
Onwamere there going to the opposite side, but the shot missing. And now we see another cross-court attempt and a return from Onwamere. Another return this time from Leung, but that one blocked. And Onwamere, no ball in hand. He's a little more vulnerable, and there is a good shot. Leung actually eliminating Jia Yi Pham from the play.
Yeah, that was a nice tag there. Nice dodge by Onwamere as well, just to stay alive. And interesting move that he took too. Kind of going feet first to the side and trying to keep his chest up, and good move overall. I'm so impressed with this Australian side. I know they're losing, but I'm very impressed with both sides here.
I mean, it's even though it's not the result you want, it's hard to be too disappointed about playing the defending champions really tight. So.
Yeah. And this is not Australia's first match. I think this is Malaysia's first match of the day. Is that right?
It is, yeah. Australia played Hong Kong in the first match slot of the day.
I think they lost that one, though, didn't they? Like 9-6, I believe.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the score is. I did hear that they had lost, but I'm not sure what the final was. And we see both shots from each side missing. Leung taking an aggressive shot as well. Onwamere, all right, another shot taken. It looks like there's confirmation from the referees that Robert CK may have been grazed.
Another tag there. That's 2 in a row for Australia.
Yeah. Simon Eat knocked out, and that's a bit of momentum for the Australian team. They still have just under 3 minutes to work with. So, you know, a point a minute. Maybe they can do it.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see some no-huddle play calling, like the NFL, probably. Just a lot of aggression. We'll see. Or, I mean, you use this time saying, is 3 points feasible? You know, we're on a roll right now. Do we just play solid and then carry that momentum through with us into the subsequent matches? You know, your game score is still super important, right? You finished the same as someone else, and you know, you went 60% overall versus 59%. That, you know, 1 or 2 wins can be the difference. So we'll see how Australia approaches this. I imagine they're just going to play solid and, you know, try to get what they can out of this.
I mean, how your body holds up is important too. So I can imagine that if you decide that the final score is out of reach, there may be situations where you don't throw yourself to the floor for the dodge the same way, or risk your joints on a throw the same way you might when the match is more in doubt. Just trade-offs to consider, because this is just the first day for a lot of these teams and only the second day overall. You do want to make sure that you're going to be in reasonable shape come those later round-robin matches when playoff seeding is really going to be determined, and the playoffs themselves. It is a grind.
That was... I'm looking forward to seeing how they approach this, right? They have the momentum. They've done so well since the half. I want to see what they pull out here. Are they feeling any differences in the roster that we can see?
I don't think so. They've been holding pretty steady.
Yeah, it looks to be about the same.
And we should comment too that, I mean, Malaysia's defensive play has been so strong that even if Australia goes offensive and really tries to get a point per minute, like we've said before, Malaysia's players are just really hard to hit.
Yeah, they are incredible at just staying alive, 100%. So just under 3 minutes remaining in this second half. Score is 7 Malaysia, 4 Australia. Let's see what they can do here. Very aggressive off the rush and gets that tag. Way to start this, possibly is the last game of the half.
Yeah, Lim heading to the sideline. We could see that we knew that aggressive play was going to come from Chow.
Good way to start the tempo of this match. 6 against 5. Does give Malaysia a little bit more room to dodge, but...
And that time again, Chow taking the shot from the corner. Oh no, sorry. That may have been Tran instead, sorry. Chow is actually holding down the second inside spot on the right. And right now he seems to be calling the play again. He's often been their big throw. 2-minute call goes out so the teams can know what they got to work with. This one going a little bit slowly. Malaysia still with 5, coming to the line.
Ooh, big shot, connects with the neck of Amumeri. And another shot as well. 4-4 in terms of players on the court. 1:30 left.
That Simonite knocked out in the exchange, so a little bit more attainable for Australia. That one skimming in before it actually could connect with Pham.
Very accurate shot by Jaden Watson, though. I got to give it up to him. That would have been a foot shot, but got that ball on it. Got that block. We got just over a minute left in this half.
And there we see a connection.
Yeah. Good work there. Still 4 balls from the Malaysian side. Maybe a double team comes through here, or 2 solos. Tries to go for the cross court.
So it looks like Malaysia is going to take this match, but Australia threatening to take this set. We see Ashley Chow protecting the teammate as they back off.
Malaysia's doing good here too. They're not really countering at all, not really opening themselves up. I think they just want to end this match, secure a victory. I know there's a 3-point thing, but make the margin as wide as possible. They've really slowed things down.
Chow taking that cross court. Malaysia sees it coming. And now we see an attack.
Ooh. Yeah. Just grazes that shoulder.
Yeah, they all count. no matter how
5
solidly they hit
seconds.
you. 3-on-3, Chow hit out. But
And
yeah,
another connection to the chest.
yeah, but I think they did manage to find Chia on the far side as well. So it looks like
Oh, just one in from Malaysia. You got 2.
yeah, exactly. We going into no blocking now. We're gonna see how each side approaches it. Australia, obviously, I expect is going to be the more aggressive side here, because even as the Malaysian player, if you throw first and the other player just hits you while you're exposed, wow, that was aggressive.
And connects with the foot. Okay, 7-5.
Yeah, Tran making the shot and making the match a little bit closer. Still a 2-point victory for Team Malaysia.
Yeah, I think both teams are going to come out of this with a different feeling than their scores suggest, right? Australia lost the match, but won the final 3 or 4 games, right? So they're coming out of this with momentum, and the adjustments they made are paying off. Malaysia, on the other hand, won the match, but couldn't secure it in the end. So, it's going to be bittersweet for both sides.
Yeah, I do think you're right that Australia kind of controlled the results a little bit better in the second half overall. So a little bit of a confidence booster for them. I don't know that Malaysia would be too worried about it because, again, those points were pretty close. But we will see as they figure things out. The next time they come out, we'll see how different everything looks. But coming up next on this court, we are going to see another men's match, Team USA against Team Italy.
Oh, okay. This is USA's playing. Malaysia versus USA Women's Division, which is a gold medal rematch. That'll take place at 4:30 Eastern.